So I went to our local grocery store today. There's a pharmacy in there, and I see this big advertisement for this high dose flu vaccine. I'm not sure how that would work, but I have no interest in getting it anyhow. And then as I walk by the pharmacy counter to just take a look at what's going on, I see more propaganda saying that the flu vaccine could potentially save how many billions of dollars worth of lost workdays, something to that effect. I gotta point out something though. I have been quite mildly ill, but out of work twice in the last 2 years. I had traveled to Taiwan in October of 2019, and obviously food in Taiwan is a little bit more fresh than food we get here in the United States. I ate some sushi or something like that, and also I was staying in a hostel and with a lot of travelers and all that. And I got home and I was out of it for a few days. And during the time I was out of it, I watched a number of YouTube videos, and I was just listening to random music videos, and I discovered quite a few songs that I love. And when I went back to work, I just had a whole new perspective. I was teaching network security at a university at the time. Unfortunately, it was a startup university. They have kind of folded because of the recent events. The recent events weren't very friendly to our school. A lot of people quit their jobs. We had a lot of foreign students who, whether they were not allowed to come here or maybe didn't feel comfortable anymore. Nobody wants to be in a foreign country when suddenly our airports could shut down over something, right? Anyway, that's the situation. It gave me a whole new perspective. I went back to the campus refreshed and with new perspective, new favorite songs, new memes that I learned online. And the point I want to make is that you can't take what I was making per hour or per day and go, okay, you missed 3 days of work, that's X dollars, right? That's bullshit. There was a different perspective, right? And then this past May, I ended up with COVID-19, actually. And it's just my luck that it was the week of the lunar eclipse. I still went out to see it. It was in Vantage, Washington that I went to see it. Now, I was living out of my car at the time, and so I looked for an Airbnb where I could do a contactless check-in, and I stayed there for 4 nights, if I remember correctly. And during the time, I explored the bicycle trail there. It was in, I think I stayed in Yakima, and I went to see the lunar eclipse in Vantage, Washington, and I had some fresh ideas on some computer games I was writing. I was working at a tutoring center at this point. The university was still online. I didn't miss any of that. I missed 2 days of work at the tutoring center. But you know what? I went back there refreshed and with new ideas. I think part of the reason I got as sick as I did with COVID-19 was I wasn't taking good care of myself. At the time, I was upset about some unfair treatment at my job, and I was trying to use my body to make a statement. I was going on a hunger strike. I wanted to rapidly lose weight so that people would get concerned for me. I didn't like the way my parents treat me for being solo sexual as well. I hope to resolve some of this conflict with my mother especially. But I think that contributed to me not taking good care of my immune system. So the point I want to make is that both times the illnesses were not a complete loss, and in fact they gave me a fresh new start when I went back. And had I got those 2 vaccines, I would have missed out on that. So you could have said that the vaccines actually cost our creativity, cost our productivity. You could just as easily say that, right? Anyways, I thought I would point that out. You can't just take... It kind of reminds me many years ago, I was a teenager at the time when the music industry was cracking down on people illegally sharing music. And they would say that we've been losing X billion dollars from all the illegally down... How many billions of songs were copied times they were worth, 50 cents, 75 cents each? I can't remember how much they were at the time. It equals how much they lost. Well, that kind of assumes that everybody who was illegally downloading something would have bought the songs, right? When you look at some people who have tens of thousands of songs, it's hard to imagine that a 13-year-old would buy that many songs to begin with, right?